Well, it's a very short one because my battery is running out, and it's not anything new. I think I have done videos about this before. You're travelling from city A to city B. City B is 2,000 miles away, and it takes you 2 days to get there, or 2 weeks. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. 2 weeks. So you travel from city A to city B, and city B is 2,000 miles away, and it takes you 2 weeks to get there. And so you travel, off you go, and you meet people along the way, and you do things and blah 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 and all that, and then you arrive at city B. And I say to you, great, so did you have a good time? You say, yeah, fine, it's great. Met these people, did this, blah blah blah. Okay, so how long did you travel? And you say, it's about 2 weeks. And I say, great, and how long did it take? Or how far did you travel? And you say about 2,000 miles. I say, how long did that take? You say, well, it's about 2 weeks. Okay. Then I say to you, great, now wake up. And so you wake up because you were asleep. And I say, so how far did you travel? And you say, well, in my dream, I travelled 2,000 miles. Yeah, but how far did you actually travel then? And the answer is then, well, I didn't travel. How long did it take? Well, in my dream it was 2 weeks. How long did it take? No time at all. All of the people, objects, the city, and yourself in the dream, what were they made of? The buildings weren't bricks and mortar. The sky wasn't a mixture of gases. The trees weren't carbonated filaments. What were they made out of? And the answer would be, well, mind. Okay, what's your mind? Well, me, you. All those trees, all those things, the cities, the people, even yourself in the dream, were all just you. No distance travelled, took no time. The time was you, the distance travelled supposedly was you, and every single object in the dream was you. All of that was made entirely of consciousness. When we open our eyes now and look around the world, our eyes are an apparatus that send signals to the brain. The brain interprets that and sends a signal to itself, or a picture to itself of the world. That's what it projects back to itself. And that's what we see. We're seeing a projection, a controlled hallucination, as Anil Seth would say. And if I was in the dream with you and said, you've got to make this make sense, start measuring things, then you would start measuring time, you would start measuring distance, and you would start measuring all of these. You would start building a model of the dream world. And when anomalies crept up, you would have to try and make that make sense in the model. And so you would fit this into the model, because this is the way this physical world that you appear to be in appears to work. And so you'd have to make the model make sense by adapting the model over and over again for new anomalies. And so in this world, when we say something like everything in the universe is regulated by a time limit, which is a speed limit, which is light, we have to regulate the model. We have to calibrate the model for this anomaly, this weird thing that's going on. And even when it doesn't seem to make much sense, when I say things like light doesn't actually travel anywhere, because it's instantaneous. It's the speed of light. So a particle of light doesn't travel from A to B. It's at A and it's at B. And in fact, if you go into quantum physics, it could be an A at B and A at the same time. And now we have large molecules that do the same. that are in superpositions. So it's not just quantum. And I have the strong suspicion that that isn't the end of it. We will find out that larger and larger classical objects are in quantum superposition. And in fact, we'll have to build that into the model as well, because that doesn't make any sense. And then it'll turn out that this entire thing is in superposition. We are creating a model to explain the dream. So when you look at an object here, you think, well, it's an object. I can see it's an object. I can feel the object. All of those things are created by a consciousness. And the thing that you're seeing and feeling and experiencing, the only thing that can experience that is consciousness. It's a product of consciousness. It's a product of a signal sent back from your brain to your consciousness, or via your consciousness, filtered by your consciousness, that allows the object to exist in the first place. You're not seeing an actual object, you're discerning in the chaotic environment something that you perceive as an object. And so it's that whole thing then, isn't it, that the whole world is just a dream. We have no idea where we are here, and we keep making up the rules and changing the rules as we go along, because there are anomalies that we have to explain, and we can't explain them, so we go and find a way to try and explain them. That doesn't change anything about the physical world, or whatever the physical world may be, but how we perceive it, like measuring something in a dream, trying to create a tape measure to measure the distances of things in dreams, or the time that something takes in a dream. And why would that be? Why is that so bizarre to think that is any different here? Why are you so convinced that here isn't exactly the same? How much information do we really have about here to be able to say that this is different than the dream? This is nothing new. The rishis suspected this. Plenty of ancient sages and meditators have suspected this because they've experienced that dream state awake. That state of belonging or being nowhere, being only consciousness in what appears to be a physical world. So I'm highly distrusting of all of this, nice and seemingly real as it might be. I have my suspicions. Let's put it that way. You wouldn't know the difference. You wouldn't know the difference if this was a simulation and you were measuring inside the simulation. All your measurements make sense according to the physics of the simulation and the models that you build. And any anomalies, any glitches in the simulation would have to be explained with equally anomalous new physics. String theory and so on. Oh, well, we can explain it by doing this. Don't know. That's my take. Something interesting to think about. It's very hot. It's a heat wave over Europe that we're having. So stay cool, drink lots of water. Cool down, do some meditation possibly, and enjoy the dream.